Hi, Jim Moana here, and this is the Lake Okeechobee Tacklewarehouse Pro Circuit Tournament Recap by yours truly, Jim Moana. So where do I begin with this one? Well, let's just first start out by saying I finished 73rd place, and 73rd place out of 162 competitors. Quality field, a lot of top sticks in this tournament. So to finish in the middle, it's not what you want, but I did get a bottom inch paycheck, which is always better than nothing. So, and not only that, Lake Okeechobee's been a nemesis of mine since the beginning. I mean, I've always joked that I should just drive down here, just throw my money in the lake, and then leave because that's what I've done every year practically. So this actually makes 2 times in a row getting a check. So I guess that's that's a good trend. Very good trend. But anyways, well, so how did I get to that 73rd place finish? We get 2 days of practice, and in those 2 days, the first day I fished a part of the lake called South Bay. I fished a half a day down there with just a couple of bites. And then I got into an area where all of a sudden I started getting all kinds of bites. And I only actually hooked and boated one fish, and it was about 1.5 pounds. But with all the bites that I was getting, because I was just shaking them off, and what I was using a wacky rig worm rig Nico style. So I shook off all these fish because I didn't have a hook. What I do is I take a little clip and clip it on the O-ring. So but I did have a sense that a lot of them were small fish, but you don't really know for sure. So I figured with that many bites, some of them would be quality fish. So the second day of practice, what did I do? I went up to the North Shore because that's notorious. When you get warm weather like this, it's notorious that the North Shore kicks out some big bags. And I don't know if it did or not, but I'll bet you, because this tournament's still going on. We got the top 50 qualifiers fishing today. This is day 3 of the tournament. Of course, I'm eliminated. But anyways, so I went up to the North Shore, fished a whole bunch there, and I had like 5 bites all day. However, it seems like I did see a couple other just locals catch a couple, and they look like some decent fish, like some 3-pound stuff. And I did see one big fish hanging around a bed that it disappeared. I found it. It swam away, never came back. I waited around for about 5-6 minutes to see if it would come back. It never did. But yeah, there was some quality fish up there. But in my mind, I'm not going to fish both ends of the lake like that. That's just not what I'm gonna do. So what I ended up doing was deciding I was gonna fish the South Bay the first day, and that's what I did. I went down there. I had 30 plus bites at least. I caught more fish in that. I had more fish in that single day of Lake Okeechobee fishing than any other day I've ever had here, including all the practice days. I mean, I caught a bunch of fish. And what did I get for all those fish? I got 12 pounds, 7 ounces, and a 72nd place start to the day. So going into day 2, and I was, knowing the cut for a check is 80th place, and I'm only, like a 1/2 pound within that cut. And then knowing that I really needed a huge bag to place higher, I was really unsure what to do going into day 2. But I played it safe because I knew I could go and catch a whole bunch of fish and probably hold my ground anyways. And but you never know. But I felt like my chances of getting a check were best if I just went back to South Bay and catch a bunch of fish again. But I was thinking, because I did lose one good one the first day. I never saw that fish, but it pulled so much harder than anything I'd been catching. And when he got off, I never saw him flash, but when he did come off, there was about 3 seconds went by, and then there was like this huge boil on the surface. So that's indicative of a pretty good fish. So going into day 2, I'm like, well, maybe I could get one of those to bite, and or maybe 2, who knows. But so what happened on day 2? Day 2, I went out and I actually counted how many fish I caught. It was a lot tougher. I had half as many bites at least. I ended up catching 17 bass. The best 5 weighed 11 pounds, and so I did hold my ground though. I went from 72nd place on day 1, dropped 1 spot to 73rd. Made a check. It's not a great check, but it's better. I mean, half of these guys didn't get nothing, so I'll take it, especially out of this lake. And first tournament of the year as well. It's always nice to start the year off with a check. One thing that I really don't know what's going on. There was a guy that had 17 plus pounds on day 1 and over 13 on day 2 that was fishing the area that I was fishing in South Bay. I saw him the first half of the day each day. So I don't know if he caught all his fish out of that area or if he ended up going somewhere else. And you don't really know who's around you for quite a bit of the day, because I'm fishing in these cattails, and literally you could be fishing, and these cattails are really tall. You can't see beyond them. So you could literally be fishing within 6 or 7 boats within 100 yards of you, and you wouldn't even know it, because that's just how tall these cattails are. You don't know how many guys are around you, unless if you get out in one of those open clearing spots, then you can see. So anyways, this other guy, his name's Matt Reed. He's been a long time pro, and from what I saw, he was throwing, like I told you, I was throwing a Niku rig Senko, catching all these fish, but he was casting something and winding something. I never really got a good look at the bait, but apparently, what my question is, was he catching those quality fish and right in the same areas I was fishing? And it just so happened that he was tuned in on, that hand's getting sore, or shoulder, I should say. Was he tuned into something that the bigger fish were wanting? I don't know Matt Reed that much, or at all, really. I just know he's been around. He's a quality fisherman, and knows what he's doing, especially apparently these last 2 days especially. So, maybe he didn't catch, maybe he went to where I was knowing he could get a quick limit, and then the second half of the day he went somewhere else and upgraded. I really didn't know. I didn't know where to go upgrade. That was the whole thing going into day 2, going to the same spot. It's like I didn't know where to go. I didn't want to go up to the North Shore and gamble. I just felt like if I went other places, it would just be a complete gamble. And I just felt like my best shot for a check was where I was at and sticking to it. So, but on the downside, I going into day 2, I almost felt like, you never know what's going to happen, but I almost felt like that I gave up on trying to win the tournament. And that's always kind of a crappy feeling, really. But on the other hand, I'm like, I'm trying to make the championship. That's always a feather in your cap. And so I wanted to hold my ground, at least hold the points. I didn't want to gamble with what I already had. And so, I don't know. It is what it is at this point. I am happy to get that check. So what else can I say? God, I really wish I knew what Matt Reed was doing. That's the biggest mystery right now, and it's bugging me, because if he spent all that time in that section of the lake, kind of in the general vicinity of where I was, that and caught all those big ones, that just what can I say? That's I'm gonna have to talk to him someday about that. So. And see if he'll share anything at all. Hopefully he makes like the top 10. They put a camera on him, and then I'll see for sure. But anyways, over and out. I got the camper loaded up, got the boat loaded. I'm gonna be turning some tires here, heading back to Minnesota. And over and out. Till next time.